So you want to mic up your kid during their sports game.
Let's go! Don't even play with me! I'm that guy!
Or maybe yourself or someone else. Whatever it is, you're watching the right video. I've been micing up my kids for over 3 years now. We've done everything from a 5-year-old in a t-ball game.
Mommy, am I gonna get an icy pop after this? Yeah.
You got it, Em?
To players in high intensity contact sports like football, basketball. And I'm gonna share with you everything I've learned about the best way to mic someone up while they're playing sports in a competitive environment. So we're gonna start with the equipment that you'll need. Then I'm gonna break down the technical details of how to actually set everything up, and then I'll share some general tips. I don't like long intros, so we're gonna jump right in and make sure you have all the right equipment. So the simplest way to put this is that you're gonna need a camera, a wireless mic, and then a way to secure the mic onto the athlete. So everything I'm gonna talk about, I'll link to in the description of the video. I do ask you to consider using the affiliate links to purchase the products. It doesn't cost you anymore. It does give us a small percentage and helps us keep making videos like these. So first, let's talk about the mics. In my opinion, the best place to start for most people will be purchasing the DJI Mic Mini. Now, if I would have made this video just a couple months ago, I would have said the DJI Mic 2, but DJI just released this mic and it's a game changer. Now, technically you can use any mic that has a receiver and a transmitter like the Rode Wireless Goes, but when you factor in things like weight, size, wireless range, audio quality, I promise you, you're gonna have a hard time doing anything better than the DJI Mic Mini or the DJI Mic 2. If you're just getting started, I would suggest starting with the Mic Minis. They're a little bit cheaper. Now, if you're doing football, it might make more sense to go ahead and get the DJI Mic 2, but the Mic Mini will work for most sports. So here's the main difference between the two mics. It's the Mic Mini transmitters are smaller and weigh less than the Mic 2 transmitters, which is obviously better for someone playing sports. Both mics actually have a built-in mic in the transmitter, but the Mic 2s allow you to plug a external lavalier mic into them, and that can be helpful if you want the transmitter in a less bothersome place than their chest. With the Mic 2s, you also have more control from the receiver, which is nice to have sometimes. But in my opinion, the Mic Mini is the best place to start, especially if you're new to this. So you've got the wireless mics, and now you're gonna need a way to secure the actual transmitter and the mic onto the athlete. For me, the best thing I found is this very specific type of padded compression shirt. It's sold on Amazon. It requires just a little bit of adjustments to make it a perfect option for almost all sports. And then lastly, you're gonna need a camera. So the mics that I'm suggesting will work with basically any phone or DSLR camera. You can easily start with what you have. I use a Sony a7S III with a 7200 zoom lens. It allows me to get close to the action, but honestly, I know most of you aren't probably ready to drop $7 on a camera. So feel free to just get started with what you have. An iPhone Pro with the 5x lens will do the job just fine. Here's some footage I shot on my iPhone one time when my camera died on it.
Let's go! Way to hustle!
So you can see that it does the job. So now that we've talked equipment, let's get into some technical details. All of these wireless mics come with what I'm calling a receiver and a transmitter. So when I'm talking about the receiver, I'm talking about this piece that will connect to your recording device, whatever that is. And when I'm talking about the transmitter, I'm talking about this piece that also has a built-in mic. The basic gist of this is that you need to connect the mic receiver to your camera or phone, and then you will need to secure the mic transmitter on the athlete. Now, connecting the receiver to the camera or phone is pretty simple. The mic itself will come with instructions on how to do that, but you either connect it to your phone using the provided USB-C cable, or you use the provided aux cable to connect the receiver to the mic port on your DSLR camera. If your phone has a lightning port, if it's older, I think you need to purchase that adapter separately for the Mic Minis. It does come with the Mic 2s. So what that's gonna do is that's gonna take the audio from the mic transmitter directly to that receiver right into your recording device. It's actually pretty simple and straightforward. The hardest part of all this is securing the mic to your athlete in a place that's both safe and not bothersome or obtrusive for the athlete. This is probably the most important thing that I've spent a lot of time kind of playing around with. It's also where the padded compression shirt comes into play. Now, if you're a coach or an athlete, just kind of micing yourself up for a training or something, the magnets that come with the clip will do just fine. I've got it right here. You put it on the front of your shirt somewhere, you're ready to go. But for athletes in highly competitive and contact environments, you need to make sure it's safe and secure. In my experience, and I've tried a lot of different ways, you basically have two options based on what mic you have. And these options will work for most any sport except for football, which I will explain in just a minute. So if you have the Mic Mini, the best way is to literally put the mic directly into the pads on the compression shirt. It is light enough that most athletes won't even notice it's there. And you're gonna basically take the compression shirt, in the back of the shirt, you'll cut a small hole in it. And then you're gonna cut out this small piece of padding, and it's where you want to place the mic. You'll want to place the mic in this spot, and then on the back side, clip it secure. For mine, I've also added just a thin piece of padding I found from somewhere, and I secured it with stretch tape to make it even more comfortable for the athlete. I would suggest using a little fur piece that comes with it to help pick up any wind noise they might get while they're running around. And then what'll happen is your athlete will just wear this compression shirt underneath whatever they would normally wear, and they're ready to go. I've also cut the neck area and the sleeves on mine to make it more comfortable, thinner, less noticeable for my athlete. Now, if you have the DJI Mic 2, my suggestion is to purchase the separate DJI Lav mic and run it from the transmitter to the chest. And so you can do this by cutting small holes along the padding and just securing the mic here. And then you're gonna have to run that wire and find somewhere to secure the transmitter. If it's baseball, I normally put it in their back pocket on the opposite side that they slide on. And if it's basketball or soccer, it's a little bit harder, but your best bet I found is probably what's called a soccer bee vest. It has this little padded pouch in the upper back area, and most athletes are pretty comfortable with the transmitter in there. And these ways will cover almost all of the sports that your athlete will play. It's safe, it's unobtrusive, and it will work and pick up quality audio. Now, if you're gonna mic up your athlete for tackle football, I do suggest doing it a little bit differently. For football, I've always used the DJI Mic 2. I've taken the DJI Lav mic and I've secured it at the front of the shoulder pads, and then I've run the wire between the soft padding of the shoulder pads and the hard shell padding to the back and secured the transmitter on the back somewhere using stretch tape. Stretch tape is your best friend. This tape will not leave any sticky residue on the mic. It's safe to use because it literally just sticks to itself. So this approach has worked really well for me. I've seen people just put the mic transmitter on the back of the shoulder pads without running a lav mic to the front, but the audio is nowhere near as clear. For football season, I literally just leave the lav mic in his pads all the time, and then I just add the transmitter to the back on game days, so it's not a whole lot of work. Now, if I was gonna use the Mic Mini, which I've not done yet, but I would just secure it somewhere on the shoulder pads at the front. It might not be quite as protected from contact. You could try using the Mic Mini in the compression shirt like other sports, but that will come down to the comfort of the athlete. It makes me a little nervous for contact sports to wear that under the shoulder pads. I think it's best to just put the mic on the outside of the pads instead of the interior somewhere. It does put the mic at risk for getting broke, but it's better than putting your athlete at risk for an unnecessary injury during a contact sport. So that's pretty much how you make the transmitter secure, which is the hardest part of all this. So you've got the receiver connected, the transmitter secure. Here's just a few random tips for you that I've learned along the way. Generally, you'll want to make sure you turn the gain down some on the mics. You can look at tutorials on how to do that. If your athlete yells at all, if you don't do that, the audio will be blown out and distorted. It's called clipping, and you want to avoid that. The Mic Minis are supposed to help with this, but you can always increase the gain in post if you need to. It's not complicated. Now, if you're filming on an iPhone and you want to be able to take those clips and directly post them on social media or something, you'll need to find that good balance so you don't have to do a lot of editing, but you can normally find that. I found for the Mic Minis, putting it on the -6 dB is the best place. With the Mic 2s, you have even more control over the dBs. The DJI mics come with a case that acts as a charger. They do a great job. Battery lasts forever. But here's a tip. When I mic up someone, I normally secure the mic plenty ahead of time. So when we're getting in the car, my son's getting ready for his basketball game, he already has the compression shirt with the mic on him, but you need to turn it off, and that will avoid wasting the battery. And then plenty of time before they start warm-ups, maybe 30 minutes, an hour before the game. I'll turn on both the transmitter and the receiver and they'll automatically connect. The batteries on these things last forever, so you should be good on battery. Now, once you've turned the transmitter and the receiver on, I would try to keep them in range of each other. The range on these is pretty far, especially the Mic Minis, but it does decrease significantly if there are walls in between the two. So if they go into a locker room or a bathroom, sometimes they'll disconnect. They do a great job of reconnecting when they come back in range. But one time I had that happen and really you're out of luck. Also keep in mind when you're filming that every now and then, when they get pretty far away from your camera, especially like in football, the signal might drop. If you see that this keeps being an issue as you're monitoring the audio, you can normally solve it by making sure you're filming from the same side as the transmitter on your athlete. So like say it's football and they have the transmitter on the back, you need to film from that side. If they have it on the front in basketball, film from that side. Now you don't always have to do that. Normally in like a basketball gym, it's not that big. They're not far away from the camera and the receiver, so you're normally in good shape. But if you find it cutting in and out, that's just a tip to help you out. Also, make sure you take the mics off before you throw that compression shirt in the washer. It doesn't end well if you wash it with the mic in there. Don't ask me how I know that. So that's it. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions I didn't answer. I'll do my best to reply to them all. Thank you so much for supporting our channel and our content. We hope to do more things like this where we review youth sports products. So if there's certain things you want reviewed that you've seen us talk about or wear or more tutorials, let us know. Like, subscribe, and share to help us keep making more content like this. We appreciate your support.